November the 13th regular meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County is hereby called to order. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of student success through our mission. We will provide an innovative educational environment that allows and inspires success for everyone. To lead us in the pledge to the flag today, let's see, I see some Champs Cafe people, so why don't you guys lead us in the pledge to our flag today? Could you stand and join us, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Superintendent, do we have any additions or corrections to tonight's agenda?
We have two additions this evening. Addendum number 1 is item G4, out-of-field teachers and employee resignations. Addendum number 2, also under G4, is a temporary position and employee resignations.
So moved.
Second.
Gosh, we're going to be going back and forth on the moving on the second tonight. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the additions and corrections to item G4 as presented by the superintendent. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Oh.
Cast your ballot.
Cast my vote, yes. Okay. We don't have the visual up, but the motion passed unanimously. Under reports, Mr. Superintendent.
We have 3 reports this evening. They're actually recognitions, so I'm going to invite the board to come down in front. And as we do that, Donna Dunnicky, our curriculum and instruction specialist for social studies, will come to the podium.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Madam Chairwoman, school board members, Dr. Whitaker, school board attorney, Mrs. Young, and esteemed guest. Thank you for this opportunity to recognize 3 of Charlotte County's finest social studies teachers. The Florida Council for the Social Studies is a professional organization of social studies educators striving to maintain and enhance the importance of social studies in Florida's education. The FCSS, along with the National Council for Social Studies, sponsors annual conferences to promote public awareness of social studies education. Several educators from the Charlotte County Public Schools attended the 55th annual conference in Orlando this October. And one of the highlights, as it is always every year, is the FCSS Teacher of the Year Awards Dinner, which honors outstanding teachers from each of Florida's school districts. And 3 very special educators were recipients of the Florida Council for the Social Studies Outstanding Teacher of the Year Award for Charlotte County. Mrs. Alice White for elementary school, Mr. Eric Portwood for middle school, and Mrs. Kelly Anderson for high school. So on behalf of the Charlotte County Public Schools, it is with great pride and pleasure that I call up Mrs. Alice White, grade 3 teacher from Vineland Elementary, and her principal, Mrs. Laura Blunier, for a presentation. Mrs. Blunier will read a short statement in support of Alice, and I will present a plaque to honor Alice's accomplishments.
Good evening, everyone. We are so very fortunate to have Alice White as a member of our Vineland Elementary family. She is very passionate about history, our country, social studies, and the earth, just in general, and shares that passion every day with her boys and girls in her classroom. They begin the day after the pledge with patriotic songs, and actually her class opens each of our quarterly awards assemblies with a patriotic song as well. One of the highlights last year was her wax museum where history came alive and students portrayed characters in history, and it was just outstandingly cool. It gives me chills just to think about it. So I'd like to congratulate Alice and thank her for everything that she does for us and for all of our boys and girls every day. Congratulations.
All right, again, on behalf of Charlotte County Public Schools, it is with great pleasure and pride that I call up Mr. Eric Portwood, a grade 8 U.S. history teacher at Port Charlotte Middle School, and the assistant principal, Mr. John LeClaire, for a presentation. Mr. LeClaire will read a short statement in support of Eric's accomplishments.
Thank you and good evening. During the last 4 years at Port Charlotte Middle School, Mr. Portwood has provided a learning environment where his students encounter innovative and challenging activities every day. He is one of those rare few that stretches his students' mind and challenges them to become better students and also better people. During the 2010-11 school year, Mr. Portwood made the transition as an art teacher into his current role as American history teacher. Since then, I have witnessed a daily commitment to providing engaging lessons which make history come alive. He infuses literacy into his curriculum using our new iPad technology, and he also integrates many aspects of art to reinforce important social studies concepts. Mr. Portwood understands that students are more eager and willing to learn if they can relate to their teacher. In essence, Eric knows the importance of building positive relationships, and he strives to nurture his relationships not only with his students, but also with his parents and colleagues. His students look forward to his class, and they are consistently engaged in activities that challenge them. This year, Mr. Portwood is the department chairperson for social studies. He coordinated our school-wide presidential mock election, which gave our students firsthand experience in participating in an election. Eric also spearheaded our first ever after-school Veterans Day celebration, which actually just took place this afternoon. As with everything he's involved in, it was a great success. Congratulations to Mr. Portwood for this well-deserved recognition.
Finally, on behalf of the Charlotte County Public Schools, it is with great pleasure and pride that I call up Mrs. Kelly Anderson, teacher at the PASS program and at the Academy, for her presentation. Her principal, Mr. Ron Schuyler, could not be with us this afternoon, and he asked me to read a short statement in his support of her. Good evening. I apologize for not being here tonight, but I had a previous commitment. However, I did want to take a moment to congratulate Kelly Anderson. Kelly is a tremendous asset to the Academy. Her professionalism is evident in everything she does, and her students always come away from her classes with the most respect and admiration for Kelly and her work. We at the Academy are humbled to have her work at our school, and I cannot think of anyone else more deserving of this award. Congratulations, Kelly, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Ron Schuyler, principal of the Academy. Congratulations.
At this time, I'm going to ask Karen Laporte, our Director of Secondary Learning, to come to the podium. We have two separate student recognitions. Karen?
I always change the direction of the speaking. It just seems odd. This way I can see everybody, though. Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Whitaker, and our school board attorney, Ms. Young, and the audience. I want to start with our three National Merit Scholar finalists. Let me just read the goal of the National Merit Scholarship program itself, which is to honor the nation's scholastic champions and encourage the pursuit of academic excellence. And that goes on to say, when in the description, these students exhibit exceptional academic ability and potential for success in rigorous college studies. I wish so much they could be here. Unfortunately, the highest performing students are also extremely involved. And they are playing games right now at the different sports and arenas and many different things. So not a single one of these three. However, on behalf, and who's going to accept this on their behalf, is Assistant Principal Allison Portwood. They are all three from Port Charlotte High School, so I'll read the names, and you can shake the hands of our school board members on their behalf. And that is Shannon Hennessy. These are all seniors. Richard Pham and Jesse Hevia. Great kids, so round of applause. Oh, I should have shook her hand. Thank you. But I wanted to congratulate her husband, too. So great job, Eric and Kelly, my two secondaries. Okay, the second recognition is one that I'm going to introduce the person who's going to actually talk about, this wonderful young lady. And I heard about her this summer. She was nice enough to, she's a senior at Lemon Bay High School. Let me just throw that out there and let me say a couple things, and then you can go on about the business. But she was nice enough to let us all know what she had been up to. And, you know, it's just inspirational to hear a young lady like this with this kind of a future, because although I hope that the school board members were able to see this on board docs, there is a document, a one-page document that outlines her travels, and she had 4 amazing experiences. So I'll let Principal Dan Jeffers from Lemon Bay talk about Shannon Casey. Come on up, family. Looks like a Lemon Bay family's all coming up. That's Bob Bedford, the assistant, and Mom, the supporter. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Well, it is with great pleasure, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Whitaker, Attorney Young, that we have this opportunity tonight. About three years ago, under the direction of Bob Bedford, we got deeply involved in our STEM program and with several partnerships. And we've been developing that program for those last 3 years. And we have a shining star that we have several shining stars, but we have one that really shines. And she's been involved in different programs at Lemon Bay when it comes to math, science, and technology through these years. And I'm excited to share some of her accomplishments with you. I know that we have someone that's really special when I say to her, so your only B in high school is in AP Calculus. And she cringes when I say that. So I just would have been happy to be in AP Calculus. Shannon spent this summer, almost 6 weeks involved in different camps and different programs involved in STEM, and I want to share a little bit of that with you. She started with involvement in our summer program at Lemon Bay, participating in our summer STEM program. Shannon and 24 other students learned about various STEM professions at Lemon Bay. For a lot of kids, that's it. They stopped there. Not Shannon. Following the STEM summer bridge program, she participated in the Lake Erie College Osteopathic Medicine's Medical Science Academy, that's hard to say fast, located in Bradenton's campus. The 2-week program consisted of a class of 32 high school students learning about anatomy and osteopathic care. Not done. At that point, later in June, Shannon traveled to North Carolina State University to participate in a chemical and biomolecular engineering program. This week consisted of lectures and various professionals with different professors. Shannon performed labs and made her own fuel cell miniature car with I'm sure, a team of other students, or was that yours? That was yours. Okay. Wasn't done yet. The Women in High School Aerospace Scholars Program was Shannon's final STEM activity of the summer. 32 girls spent a week in Houston, Texas at the Johnson Space Center. One of the projects they did was plan a mission to Mars. So Shannon was deeply involved. She's deeply involved in school. She carries a 4.413 grade point average with 1 B. And she has applied at Yale. We're waiting to hear back. She and her family are waiting to hear back where she wants to major in environmental engineering. I'm so happy to introduce Shannon Casey.
Okay, moving on the agenda. Next item is old business. Do we have any old business tonight?
No, we do not.
Okay, the next item then is the consent agenda.
And I'm requesting school board approval this evening of the consent agenda as presented to you.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any board discussion? I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Dollinger in the back there for her Race to the Top grant application. I want to say it was just shy of $30 million that we're looking to have infused in the district so that can really help with a lot of the work that we do. So thank you for all that hard work. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item, first item on the action agenda is the Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards legislative proposal.
Yes, it is. And I'm requesting approval this evening of the Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards legislative proposal.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Greater Florida Consortium legislative program. Any discussion? You should know that we did talk about this at a board workshop, mostly because we knew we were going to have 2 board members out today, and the way that this particular legislative program works, we're in a consortium with 10 other school districts, and any single item that one school district does not want included in the platform then gets taken off the platform completely. So any school district can pull any single item. But nobody indicated to me. Did anyone indicate to you? Okay. All in favor then, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And that motion carries unanimously. Next item is the Student Success Plan. Dr. Whitaker.
Yeah, I'm bringing on behalf of the Division of Learning to the school board this evening a request for approval of the 2012-2013 Student Success plans.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Student Success for the district. Any board discussion? You know, I found myself when I was describing what these plans are used for to your new school board member who will be taking office next week, we were talking about when parents really want to have an influence in what's going on in their local school, this is where they have it, in this plan, and that's kind of where we try to direct them to their student, to their parent advisory groups and that kind of stuff. But this is where schools decide what they're going to do for the year and what their priorities are. So it takes a lot of energy and effort, and a lot of people are involved in developing these plans. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The next one is
Madam Chairman?
Oh, yes, sir.
We didn't get our vote button.
I did not get my vote button.
We didn't get it on
None
the
of
first
us.
one.
None of us got it. I got it on the first one. I did
I
not
got
get
it
it.
so far. There's the vote button. Thank
Okay.
you. We're learning
Sorry.
this new technology. Thank you. The next item then is the PACE 2. Why does mine say 2.x? That's not right, is it?
2.x.
It is 2.x. All right. Yeah, it is. 2.x plan and Student Services Accountability System. This is the new package, new evaluations.
Yes, it is. And PACE, for those in the audience who may not know, stands for Professional Accountability for Charlotte's Educators. And I'm also bringing the Student Services Accountability System, which is a system for the support teachers and the instructional side of the house. So I'm pleased to bring both of these plans to the school board this evening for their approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the PACE 2.x plan and the Student Services Accountability System. Board discussion? Ms. Mellinson, out of curiosity, can you tell me how long have these been in the making? Yeah. And all sorts of collaboration and research along the way. Yeah, all right. I knew it was quite some time. I wasn't sure. Dr. Whitaker?
If I may, we're going to pass this with a vote, which takes just a matter of seconds. But as Mrs. Mellinson just pointed out, we spent 2 full years. Actually, it may have been more like 2.5 years from the onset. It has changed. We were going down our own road when Senate Bill 736 was passed, and through a lot of work in collaboration, we adjusted and tweaked the plan to fall in line with the expectations of that legislation. But this fundamentally changes how we appraise our teachers' performances. In the past, we've had a variety of instruments. We've had goal setting, but this is really our first attempt to give teachers feedback and coaching using research-based strategies, and to involve the teacher in reflective thinking about their own practice. So we are fundamentally moving away from an old evaluation. I will tell you whether you're a good teacher or not. I will tell you what's good and what's bad about what you're doing as your evaluator, away from that system of evaluation to a system of personal reflection, professional observation, and coaching and feedback with the intent to improve teaching, not just to criticize it or use it as a vehicle to evaluate somebody. And to say that's a huge shift is a terrible understatement. This is really a significant shift in which we're asking teachers, administrators, district leaders, and eventually on my evaluation, the superintendent, taking evaluation very seriously as a way to grow and become better educators as we work. And so I'm very pleased to bring this to you with the recommendation for approval.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I also wanted to point out that lost my train of thought there.
Oh.
Well, no. It is an important instrument, and it's the kind of instrument that our district has chosen to do to meet the needs of our district. And that's the piece that I think is mostly important, because the state has one way of looking at things and that they want most districts and most schools to adopt. And we've said, you know what, that doesn't work exactly for us. We want to have it work for us in the way that it's meaningful for our district. And that's the piece that I find to be most worthy of acknowledgement here, because we chose to do it a little bit differently, and we'll see how that works out.
Yes.
But
and just, if I may, just as a brief contrast, there's another district considerably smaller than us that the union leader was called in on a Monday morning because there was a desire to have a discussion about the new teacher appraisal system. And when that leader went in and sat down with the director of human resources, the director picked up a file from her desk and said, "Here's the new teacher appraisal system." And the union leader took it and said, "This is the first I've seen it." And the response was, I know that. I worked on it over the weekend. We do things a little different here. And we have involved dozens and dozens of our teachers and our school-based leaders in the creation of this plan, and it's still a work in progress. So I'm very pleased with that.
yeah, me too. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Did I already vote, Teresa? I thought I did. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the personnel action as amended. Mr. Superintendent.
And I am pleased to bring the personnel action to you, including the 2 amendments.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the personnel action as amended. Any board discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. I didn't get a vote on that a little.
Oh,
there we
there
go.
it is.
Okay. Next item, comments, citizen comments. Do we have any citizen? Oh, we do have a citizen tonight.
Oh, you are in trouble.
Oh, I think I know this one. Oh, yes, it is, let's see, Sue Siffert?
Disgruntled wackadoo, Sue Siffert.
Sue Seifert, welcome. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to be here. But tonight, Madam Chairman, on the momentous occasion of your last meeting as chairman of the School Board of Charlotte County, I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to commend you and thank you for your service and leadership to our district. I'm much more nervous than I thought I would be. The students and employees of Charlotte County Public Schools and the entire Charlotte County community have benefited from your impressive intellect, your quick wit, organizational skills, enthusiasm, energy, and dedication to student success. You have given so much to Charlotte County Public Schools. First, as a talented teacher, and I remember serving with you as a SAC member many moons ago. Then you continued as a board member, a school volunteer, a 7 Habits facilitator. You've been a part of the transition from Blueprint 2000 to NCLB, to Race to the Top, always knowledgeable and bringing really good ideas to the table. At the same time, you have served our community so well in so many ways, including the Economic Development Council, the Babcock Ranch Planning Committee, mentoring several students from CLEF, and supporting and encouraging strong communication and partnerships with our business community. For several years during this time, you also impressively served as the only school board member in the nation on the No Child Left Behind Commission. You are a model of servant leadership. Your vision, integrity, determination, work ethic, passionate support for education, and your principled leadership are admirable. You have served during some very challenging times, and I especially remember your leadership as chairman after Hurricane Charlie. Your organization and leadership skills were remarkable and a huge contribution to our successful weathering of that storm and its effects. Thank you for all you have done. You have been an inspiration to many, including myself. And I wish you much success in the next chapter of your life. I know you will continue to be an extraordinary woman. And in the words of your favorite bard, farewell, my sister, fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee, and make thy spirits all of comfort. Fare thee well. You will be missed.
Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you, thank you. In the words of my favorite bard, thanks and thanks and ever thanks. Teresa, do we have any other citizens? Thank you. Then, let's see. Attorney comment, Ms. Young.
Wow, I get to follow that. On behalf of myself and Mr. McKinley, you will be sorely missed. On behalf of myself, I can say that I particularly echo the sentiment that you are an inspiration to me as a mother, as a businesswoman, and I hope the short time I've got to spend with you, I can take those skills and learn them and hone them and be like you.
Oh, jeez. Thanks, Cheyenne.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Mr. Swift, board member comment.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mrs. Seifert, thank you for all you just said, because that makes mine a whole lot shorter, and if I had to make it longer, it wouldn't be good.
And yet he brought a baseball bat to hit me with.
Just in case you got out of line, I wanted to be sure that I was prepared. Mrs. Messina, your patience, your diligence, your kindness, your intelligence Your organizational skills and your toughness when needed will be sorely missed amongst this body. And I know that you're going on to bigger and better things with the Florida School Board Association. I look forward to being able to continue to work with you in that capacity. But I know that a large part of you will always be here, and I'm going to have to find a new picture hanging partner.
Yes, you are. Thank you. Mr. Vincent.
Oh, geez. I'm going to tell a short story. I spent some time deciding what I wanted to say to you because there are a lot of really nice things. My plan was today I was going to write a very eloquent, wonderful statement about all of your intelligence and your wit. And then I saw Sue this morning in Meadow Park. She told me she was coming, and I said, well, no, because I know I won't do it as well as Sue. So I decided I'm just going to keep it simple and just say thank you. Thank you from our students, from our staff, from our community, and personally thank you from me. I'm getting all choked up, but you have been a wonderful person to serve with. The leadership you've shown on this board since I've been here has just been overwhelming. And I'm going to stop now before I go too far because I don't want your head getting any bigger. But just as Mr. Swift said, we're going to miss you so very much. No disrespect to Mr. Seeger. It's going to be really difficult to look down the table and not see you there. So, and wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. Let's see. I just wanted to say, you know what? It's been an amazing 12 years that I've served on the board, and I really thank the team, the Charlotte County Public Schools team, because you know, being a board member, you can be excluded or included, and sometimes we've had a little bit of both, a lot of both actually, but it's really an honor to be a part of a team that cares about kids, and that's what it's all about, and I've been privileged and honored to serve in this role, so thank you. Mr. Superintendent.
Oh, and I get the last word.
No, I get to before I...
Oh, okay. I'll talk fast. First, I'd like to thank Chris Dollinger and Lisa DeGroot for the days they spent on that Race to the Top grant. It would take a lot of work just to put together 1,000 plus pages of anything to submit for any reason. But this grant was very, very thoughtfully prepared, was inclusive in involving community members as well as educators. It was very deliberately worded and based on data. The data charts that Lisa generated were absolutely remarkable, and have helped us see our district from a slightly different perspective than we've ever looked at it before. Mm-hmm. So whether we get the grant or not, it has moved us further down the road in becoming a better school system, in understanding and knowing what we have and where we need to go. But I really do believe we're in the running for this grant because of the quality of the writing and the work put into it, because we align almost perfectly with the sort of the rules of playing, and we fit all of the expectations for this grant. So I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to spend the $29,999,994.18, 66 cents. Great job. Great job. Just want to, everything that can be said has probably been said, so I want to thank you for your leadership. It's been a joy to work with you, work for you. I think in my reflection, what I will remember you for is your uncompromising commitment to the welfare, the safety, and the education of all of the kids in Charlotte County, all of the kids in Charlotte County. They have always come first in your decisions. I've been 41 plus years in this profession, and I've worked for dozens of school board members during that period of time. And you're at the top of my list, Andrea.
Oh, that's very kind.
Top of my list. Yeah. So I appreciate it, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
I'll see you around.
Yes, you will. All right, then if there is no further business to come before the board, this meeting and my tenure as a school board member is adjourned.